I'm Jackie Long. As a frequent air traveler, I know all of the secrets and insider tips about airports. Whether you're a seasoned flyer like me or a first-time passenger, I'm going to help you save money, save time, and make the most of airport destinations all over the globe. So come with me as we explore the worldwide network of airports, big, small, and everything in between. This is Airport Insider. Today, we're talking about making the most of where you are, whether it be a behemoth hub or something on the quieter side. First, I'm taking you through Terminal 1 at JFK, where we'll learn the travel secrets behind this international powerhouse. Later, Lucy will guide you through an entryway to a tropical paradise, the Key West International Airport. She'll show you the perks of a small airport and how to master the mask mandates. New York to Florida is a common travel path. Think of yourself as a snowbird, starting out in NYC, then flying a little more south than usual for the winter. Now, off to the hustle and bustle of New York City. I just left my meeting in downtown Manhattan, and now I've got to catch the 5:30 to Munich from JFK International. My favorite way to get to JFK is to take the Long Island Railroad to Jamaica Station. From there, I connect with the air train, which takes me the rest of the way. It's definitely the cheapest option, and you get a great view. Now, if you have to travel by car, don't automatically just jump into a rideshare. Rideshare services are demand-based. If you leave at the wrong time, a trip from Fifth Avenue to JFK can clock in at well over $100. The New York Yellow Cab regulates their rate to JFK at just $54. Yellow Cab is definitely your best bet on four wheels. If you're really looking to get there quickly, the Uber Copter can get you there in 8 minutes. That's right, you can take a helicopter to JFK for only around $225. Pretty sweet deal, right? And I guess there's always the subway, but I mean, come on. Who wants to take the subway before a long day of travel? Today, I'm flying out of JFK Terminal 1. Which has the great distinction of being the sole international-only terminal in the United States. Opened by the Terminal 1 Group in 1998, Terminal 1 is the brainchild of a consortium of 4 key operating carriers: Air France, Japan Airlines, Korean Air, and Lufthansa. Today, Terminal 1 handles 7.6 million passengers per year, flying to over 38 non-stop international destinations. With 20,000 plus travelers moving through each day, one can assume at least half of them will be checking a bag to their final destination. Well, the days of free first check bags are over. Most airlines charge between $30 and $40 for the first bag, and that fee increases with each additional bag. And if you fly as much as I do, those little charges add up quickly. That's why co-branded airline credit cards are a frequent flyer's best friend. Most of them offer free check bags on all domestic flights for the cardholder and free check bags for as many as 8 traveling companions booked on the same ticket. In most cases, a few plane tickets will pay for the card's annual fee. After that, it's all savings. I mean, I've saved close to $1,000 this year alone, and who doesn't love that? Airport security has come a long way when it comes to processing travelers through inspection. Global Entry, TSA PreCheck, and programs like CLEAR have given the leg up to savvy travelers. But not all terminals offer these services, and when you're in a hurry, a long wait at security can be the difference between boarding on time and watching your plane take off without you. JFK International is one of the busiest airports in the world, handling over 50 million passengers each year.
We're operating a 10-gate terminal that was designed for about 3.4 million passengers annually. We're pushing a little over 8 million through this terminal each year.
Naturally, the security check area tends to get a little bit crowded. However, if you want to shave 30 minutes off your time, my suggestion is VIP 1, an expedited security experience which gives you access to a private security checkpoint. The Silver service is only $35, and first-class passengers on Air France, Japan Airlines, Korean Air, and Lufthansa get complimentary access to this service. Plus, annual membership includes expedited security for you and one other person, which gives you and your travel partner more time to shop, dine, and unwind. Some things just pay for themselves. This is one of them. My first stop after security is always a lounge. Free food, fast service, clean showers. Sounds like home to me. Airport lounges were launched by the Giant Airlines in 1939. And at that time, they were invitation only, reserved for the most elite VIPs and frequent flyers. While those rules were changed in 1966, many people still think if you're not flying first class or business, then the airport lounges are off limits. But that's not true. This is Terminal 1's brand new Prime Class Lounge, and it is spectacular. If you want access to Terminal 1's lounges but aren't flying first or business class, there are a few things you can do. 1, buy a one-day airport lounge pass from the airline you're flying with. Just call customer service and ask if they have any special offers. You can purchase a lounge pass online, which usually ranges from $30 to $60, and that will give you a one-day pass to the lounge or lounges of your choice. Rewards credit cards offer various forms of access to the Priority Pass network of airport lounges. And if you're already signed up for the checked bag savings, this is an additional perk. And then, of course, there's Priority Pass. For an annual fee of $299, you get 10 free visits to Priority Pass lounges and only pay $32 per visit after that. For $429, you get unlimited visits for the year. But whether you're a weekly traveler or a once per year type of person, don't worry. There are options for you. When you think about Madison Avenue, high-end retailers come to mind. And likewise, you won't find yourself lacking in premium shopping opportunities if you find yourself with a long layover in Terminal 1.
What you see here today is really the linchpin of why Terminal 1 is an international-only terminal. Everybody has the option of cash and carry. When they buy duty-free at any of our multiple duty-free locations, they actually make their purchase and can walk out with it. That resulted in a lot more buying and spending by our consumers, which then led to a really big development on how our duty-free is presented and the different brands that we feature here at Terminal 1.
Terminal 1 is flush with high-end retailers like Hermes, YSL, Ferragamo, Chanel, Burberry, Michael Kors. It's a high-end mall right inside the terminal. Another great thing about duty-free stores is that they study their customer base's demographics and stock their shelves with items curated to appeal to groups traveling through certain airports. That means you might find interesting products you wouldn't normally find back home, which can make for some great gifts.
We looked at our brand, we looked at our mix, and we say, okay, well, how much high-end retail, mid-tier retail do we need at various locations? We look at what resonates with passengers, what are passengers wanting, and then that's what we develop. The YSL actually just opened about 6 months ago. Hermes actually just did a full renovation, and they just opened up their doors about 2-3 months ago. And all this, as you know, we are under the guise of an expansion, and this building will be completely torn down in about 4 years. But they still see so much buying power from the consumers that they want to make those investments.
So I know you have a $7 billion construction project coming up. How is that going to affect your retail opportunities, and are they going to expand?
Oh, absolutely. So all our retail opportunities, as well as F&B, will be opened up to almost 5 times what we are today. Right now, we're about 80,000 square feet. The new one will be closer to 500. So it's really a lot of square footage that is really geared towards the high-end passenger, high-end retail shopping experience, as well as a lot of high-end brands and duty-free. What we're doing in the new terminals, we're actually modeling it after New York. So the high-end fashion brands will be in the center, and they'll be extensively called Madison Avenue. And then we'll have 2 wings. One will be called Times Square, and one will be called Central Park. And that'll really bring home the sense of New York, the sense of place, and really give passengers a lot of different experiences that give them the ability to really shop and relax before they get on a flight. Being, again, a 100% international terminal, we have about a 2 to 3 hour layover where passengers are in the secure side of the terminal and they're waiting and they really want to do things. And that's what we're going to be offering the passengers of the future as well as today.
Well, I should have brought a bigger suitcase.
Absolutely. Next time you come through, please do.
Sometimes the best part of the airport isn't the free Wi-Fi or the art installations, it's watching the planes themselves. Due to its larger than average size, JFK's Terminal 1 is the best place to see wide-body aircraft like the 747, 777, Dreamliner, A330, and A350. Terminal 1 is one of only 2 terminals at JFK large enough to serve my favorite airplane, the Airbus A380. This double-decker monstrosity costs $500 million per plane to build. These are true people movers, with a Singapore version of the A380 offering an incredible 615 seats. My favorite seats are in aisles 68 and 81, A and K for both rows. These rows are directly behind exit rows and have no seats in front of them, which means you get unlimited legroom and won't disturb anyone when you get up from your seat. You have a wall right next to you, which is helpful for taking naps, and you'll be one of the first to be served in your section of the plane. Of course, there are only 4 of these seats on the plane, so if you can't swing them, you can get some similar benefits from rows 43, 52, 67, 80, and 82. Websites like Seat Guru and Seat Expert are awesome, so do your research. As of 2021, Airbus will discontinue manufacturing of the Airbus A380. Bummer for the traveler, but more economical for Airbus. That means there will only be about 250 of them in existence. Getting a chance to experience one of these modern-day marvels firsthand is as good a reason as any to plan an international flight out of JFK Terminal 1. Food on international flights can be iffy. That's why it's always good to fuel up before you get onto the plane. Then, when the in-service meal isn't to your liking, you can treat it as a post-meal snack instead of a main course. Terminal 1 has gone through a tremendous revolution when it comes to food. Before, they mainly served grab-and-goes, but they've had something of a concessions renaissance. They've moved some things around and added places like PZA Pizza, a great place for a slice of pepperoni or a meatball stromboli. Personally, I'm a big fan of their meatball sub. The Uptown Market has been completely redone into a full-fledged bar, and they've kept old favorites like Jikji Cafe, a counter-service spot located in the pre-security food court, dishing up Korean and Japanese fare. Soy and sake is another favorite for ramen and dumplings, and the local is great for an all-American burger or a plate of chicken wings. But my favorite place to eat is the recently remodeled Eat and Go Istanbul, near the Air France Lounge. I've got a weakness for gyros and kebabs, and the ones they make here are superb. But before we get into dining, safety first. Terminal 1 has introduced a thermal rebellion temperature screening process and provides an on-site COVID testing facility. The safety measures are constantly improving. Speaking of improvements, Steve has some insight on the recent revamp of the food options.
Well, we knew we absolutely had to improve the passenger experience, but we also knew we had a very unique set of challenges and obstacles to overcome. One, this is an older terminal built, pre-9/11 under the old methodology where you put a lot of your food offerings in front of the security checkpoint. And post-security was left with a lot of grab-and-go, really no sit-down options.
So tell me about the current offerings here.
I think we had a really unique responsibility to represent New York and everything that New York has to offer. We have a lot of cultural food options here in the city, and we really wanted to duplicate that here in the terminal. Terminal 1 is also shaped like Manhattan, so we started to reconstruct the terminal following the Manhattan theme with the downtown market, the uptown market, Soho Bites, and then we have a unique restaurant called The Taste of New York, where we actually offer locally sourced New York items.
So for the current traveler, what would you recommend as far as food and beverage goes here?
Well, I couldn't recommend just one. Instead, I'd rather recommend you try a little bit from them all.
Okay, I think I could do that. JFK International is a legendary airport. After all, the Beatles landed right here when they first came to the US in 1964. Not only that, but Terminal 1 was also the first airport in the United States to receive an Airbus A380. Today, JFK is on the cutting edge of technology as well, utilizing facial recognition technology at some of their check-in gates, a process that will help make travel faster and more secure. I'm imagining a fully paperless airport with no need to wait in line ever. A truly streamlined and safe process. And the future of Terminal 1 is looking promising as well.
Terminal 1 was selected as the developer of the South Quadrant of JFK. So we're just now starting to embark on a $7 billion terminal expansion or reconstruction project that will bring Terminal 1 up to 23, 25 gates with approximately 5 times the current F&B options.
This 2.9 million square foot terminal on the airport's south side will feature state-of-the-art amenities, 24 security screening lanes, and 55,000 square feet of green space. What does this all mean? More wide-body jets. And you know I love that. Thanks, Terminal 1. I'll be back.